$83,475 is what you bid. Actual retail price, $84,355, a difference of $880. You want both showcases at $1 million bucks. You bought both showcases at $1 million bucks. $1 million bucks, buddy.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you breaking news.
It is April 18th, 1906 at 5:30 in the morning. There has just been an earthquake along the San Andreas Fault in California.
The earthquake is 7.8 magnitude.
An earthquake is any shaking of the earth due to a release of energy.
This large earthquake has occurred along the San Andreas Fault. A fault is any crack in the Earth's surface that has motion between it. This is compared to a joint, which is a crack in the Earth's surface that does not have motion between it. The San Andreas Fault is a strike-slip fault. It is the most active fault in California and produces a large amount of earthquakes every year. We do not know much information at this time, but to find out more, let's cut to our on-the-spot reporter who's on the scene.
Thanks, Tucker. Yeah, it's a wild one out here. San Andreas Fault or something. It's a big one. Oh no, here comes the building.
Alright, well let's hope they're alright.
Seismologists have determined the location of the earthquake using SP lag time. SP lag time is the time differential between the arrival of the first P wave and the first S wave. This can determine the distance away from an earthquake.
According to earlier reports, the epicenter of this earthquake is located near San Francisco.
The epicenter is the point on the surface directly above the focus of the earthquake. The focus is the point underground where the earthquake occurred. There is a lot of structural damage due to this earthquake. It is caused by the seismic waves.
There are three types of seismic waves. P waves, also known as primary waves, are the fastest of the three seismic waves and can move through both solid and liquids. They move in a push-pull motion. S waves are also known as secondary waves and move in a side-to-side motion. They can only move through solids. P and S waves are the two types of seismic waves that make up body waves. L waves are also called surface waves. They are the slowest of the three seismic waves, but also have the most destruction. They move in an up and down motion.
This earthquake was caused by a buildup of stress between a plate boundary, which is one of the four main causes of earthquakes.
There are four main causes of earthquakes: meteor impacts, volcanic eruptions, nuclear explosions, and the buildup of stress between plate boundaries.
Currently, we don't have much information about the earthquake.
However, as we speak, seismologists are figuring out the details. Seismology is the study of earthquakes. Seismologists are scientists who study seismology. The seismographs located in San Francisco are going crazy. This reads a 7.8 on the Richter scale. A seismograph is an instrument used to record the seismic waves. A seismogram is the written recording of an earthquake taken by a seismograph.
The Richter scale is a scale that measures an earthquake's magnitude by the size of its largest seismic wave.
Although there are no reports of liquefaction at this time, we would like you to be on the lookout for your safety.
Liquefaction occurs when a saturated area of soil begins to move fluidly and structures above it begin to sink into the ground. This is caused by earthquakes.
Several reports of broken gas and water lines, which creates fire, and since there is no water, it is impossible for the fire response teams to do their work. We would like you to watch out for all of your safety.
Just in, first-hand photos of the earthquake. Let's take a look.
The earthquake was devastating. Buildings in over 500 blocks were crumbled and fires burned the remaining until only the metal structures were left. Gas lines broke, making this city more susceptible to fires breaking out. Water lines broke as well, making extinguishing fires very difficult for firemen. Buildings were destroyed, leaving thousands homeless. Shelters were built to house the homeless.
This is a map based on the modified Mercalli scale, and you can see the most damaged areas of San Francisco. This is the actual seismogram of the earthquake.
Wow, that was pretty alarming.
Remember, kids, duck, cover, and hold.
Duck, cover, and hold is a three-step process to ensure your safety in the case of an earthquake. Duck is when you duck under a table. Cover is to cover your head with anything around you or just your hands and arms. Hold is to hold on to the table around you so you stay under it.
Thousands were killed by the destructive forces of the earthquake.
The 5 main hazards of an earthquake are liquefaction, fires, landslides, ground shaking, and tsunami.
And now back to your local programming.
T-Dell,
Shout out to Pab.
about to drop. Honors our science. Here we go.
B block. Hey.
Earthquake. 1906 gave San Francisco some big conflicts. Fires were breaking out. I could hear everybody's screams and shouts. Terror spread through the city. I can assure you that it wasn't pretty. It mentioned 7.8 on the Richter scale. Some people thought it was a yard sale. I saw people loot and steal. The whole scene was just unreal.
Hey, Spitter.
About to drop.
This quake was a big one, and there's no doubt I'm gonna have to tell you what it's all about. This monster was bigger than any bomb I know, but for this one you can't be enjoying the show. April 18th, 1906, people just waking up to check on the kids. When out of nowhere the ceiling shook, so I had to stop reading my book. This 7.8 beast was no small feature, cause this one will surprise your earth science teacher.
Kali Andro. It was the San Fran quake when the ground began to shake. Burning fires, falling spires. Where 500 blocks hit the rocks. Fell south of LA, what a bad start to the day. Over in Nevada, messed up my frittata. It was a transform boundary called the San Andreas Fault. Here and there, turns the ground to mold. S waves, P waves are not the heat waves. Shake the ground all around. Last to go, up and down.
The Shulminator!
Hey! Earthquake, a rumble and a shake. When you hear the sound coming deep underground, you better start to run, cause an earthquake ain't no fun. Once you think it's done, you better hope there's only one, cause of the aftershock, shaking all the rock. Too much seismic activity all in the vicinity. It's coming from the left, I hear it to the right. Them earthquakes be destroying all in sight.
Yo, went to Pho 88 last night and it was great, son.
Earthquake. 1906 gave San Francisco some big conflicts. Fires were breaking out. I could hear everybody's screams and shouts. Terror spread through the city. I can assure you that it wasn't pretty. It measured 7.8 on the Richter scale. It was so big that it turned me pale.